Good morning, students. Today we are going to begin chapter number 5, heat. As you can see in the picture, there is a cup of tea and some ice cube is there. When you touch the cup of tea, not that picture, the real one, when you touch the cup of tea, you feel hot. And when you touch ice cube, you feel cold. Okay. But the question is, how do you decide that an object is hot or cold? An object is said to be hot or cold when it has more or less of an energy called as heat or heat energy. An object is said to be hot or cold when it has more or less of an energy, and that energy known as heat or heat energy. Okay. In the cup of tea, it has more amount of heat energy. That's why we feel hot when you touch it. Okay. But in ice cube, it has less amount of heat energy. That's why you feel cold when you touch ice cube. Clear? Now the question is, why do you feel hot when you touch the ice cube? When you touch the cup of tea, and we feel cold when you touch the ice cube. Okay, this is because of the flow of heat energy. Heat energy always flows from a body at high temperature to a body at lower temperature when brought in contact. That means when you touch the cup of tea, the temperature of cup of tea is higher than the temperature of your body, and the nature of heat energy is it always start from a body at high temperature to the low temperature. Okay, so when you touch the cup of tea, the heat energy present in the cup of tea start flowing to your body. That's why you feel hot. Okay, then when you touch the ice cube, the temperature of ice cube is lower than the temperature of your body. Okay, so that the amount of heat energy present in your body start flowing from your body to the ice cube. That's why you feel cold. Clear? Okay, but this the flow of heat energy takes place when there is some difference between the temperature of two substances. Okay, the temperature of two substances, if the temperature of two substances are different, then the flow of this process will takes place. Okay, but there is no flow of heat energy between two objects at the same temperature. You have to remember these 2 points. Okay, next, unit of heat. SI unit of heat is joule, and it is also measured in calorie. We have already studied about calorie in chapter number 3 in energy chapter. Okay, a calorie is defined as the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. These things we have already studied in chapter number 3. Okay, but calorie is very small unit. Okay, that's why we used kilocalorie to measure the heat. Okay, so 1 kilocalorie is defined as the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water. 1 calorie for 1 gram of water, and 1 kilocalorie for 1 kilogram of water. Okay, and the value of 1 calorie equals to 4.186 joules, and the value of 1 kilocalorie, okay, 1 kilocalorie equals to how much? 4186 joules. Okay, 4186 joule. The value of 1 calorie is 4.186 joule, and value of 1 calorie equals to 4186 joule. Clear? Next, there are some substances around us, okay, which catch the fire easily, and some substances are there which do not catch the fire easily. Based upon that property, substances can be grouped into inflammable substances and non-flammable substances. First, we'll talk about inflammable substances. Substances that catch fire easily are called inflammable substances. That means the substances which can burn easily. Okay. For examples, dry paper, dry leaves, dry wood, dry clothes, petrol, kerosene, oil. These are the examples of inflammable substances. These okay. Then non-flammable substances. Substances that do not catch fire easily are called non-flammable substances. Okay, that means the substances which do not burn easily. For examples, metals, stones, bricks, waters. These are the examples of non-flammable substances. Okay. Then ignition temperature. This is important. Ignition temperature. Let's understand ignition temperature with help of examples. You can easily burn a piece of paper by the help of single matchstick. Okay, you can easily burn a piece of paper, a piece of dry paper with the help of a single matchstick, but you cannot burn a thick dry wood with the help of single matchstick. It will take some more amount of heat energy. Okay, it will take some more amount of heat energy to burn the dry woods, because every substance has its own ignition temperature. Ignition temperature means the minimum temperature at which a substance gets fire and start burning is known as ignition temperature. Clear? Next, fire safety. We need to take some precaution while handling fire. What are those? First point, any inflammable objects such as plastics, wood, clothes and paper should do not be left close to fire or electrical switches. Okay. Then second point, LPG gas pipes, cylinders, regulator should be checked regularly for any leakage. Clear? Then in the next class we will discuss about effects of heat. In the next class we will discuss about effects of heat. This is the homework. Write true or false and correct the statements. First question, there is no flow of heat energy between two objects at the same temperature. Second question, substances that can catch fire are called non-flammable substances. You have to check that whether true or false. Okay, if the question is false, then you have to correct the statements. Then section B, answer the following. Under what condition does heat energy flow from one object to another? The second question, differentiate between inflammable and non-flammable substances. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask me through my WhatsApp. My number is 9439882525. Thank you students. Have a great day.